Hello and welcome to another episode of What to Pick. This is the video series where I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And today's first starting hand is a decision between Mining Guild and Astrodrill. Both start off with not that much MC, but also with some minerals. Mining Guild in the form of steel and Astrodrill, I mean, those are asteroids, but they can be converted into titanium, which is what you will do at the start. So they go in different directions. I think Mining Guild has the better ability. So let's pick it for now. And yeah, Experimental Forest is a really great prelude on its own, but it's also really great for Mining Guild since it triggers your ability and it draws you cards, which is great because you want card draw with Mining Guild. We're playing on Tharsis, so you're probably going to place it on Pavonis Mons, and then it will also help you with Gardener. Great prelude. The other options here, I mean, Loan is atrocious. With Mining Guild, you can pick it if your starting hand is really great and you want to keep a lot of cards and play a lot of cards because Mining Guild is nearly broke. Usually there's better preludes, but Mining Ops isn't really what you want to go for with Mining Guild because you already have that much steel prod and steel at the start. So Mining Ops really doesn't do that much, and Eccentric Sponsor is great, but if you don't have a card for it, then it's worthless. So I think there could be a world where we pick Loan here. But let's go with Eccentric Sponsor for now and hope that we find a good card for it. Not on this hand. And sadly also not on this one. Yeah, so Eccentric Sponsor is not really a good choice here. The problem is there's also not that much on the starting hand that we want to keep in play, I think. So Alone also doesn't work out that well. I probably would go for Mining Ops here, even though that is really ugly as Mining Guild. Imported Hydrogen is great for Mining Guild. It's another tile placement. Sponsors plus Earth Office is probably a keep on every starting hand if you have this combination. GHG Factories is good as a steel dump. We have no Jovian tag, so Beam is not useful here. Tardigrades and Dirigibles are both fine engine cards if you want to stall. We're playing with all expansions on Steam, by the way. So all the promo sets and also Venus Next. The thing is, I was thinking about whether or not Mining Guild would be the correct choice here. Since we don't have that much to spend our steel on other than GHG Factories. But we have Experimental Forest and we have Imported Hydrogen, 2 tile placements. So we might want to go for Mining Guild. Astrodrill, I mean, can at least take a bit of titanium, get Imported Hydrogen down. But doesn't really have anything to follow it up with. The good thing about Astrodrill is that Mining Ops isn't wasted on it. So you can just take Mining Ops and be really happy about it because it's a great prelude. If we were picking Astrodrill, I'd probably pick these two. I'd get Earth Office and Sponsors down Gen 1. Probably would skip... no, we have Mining Ops. Probably wouldn't skip GHG Factories. So yeah, Earth Office, Sponsors, Gen 1. Also Dirigibles and Tardigrades, something you can think about. You put Experimental Forest either on Escrias for the extra card or on Pavonis just for the titanium. Earth Office also combos really nicely with Imported Hydrogen. Thing is, you don't have enough cards for conversion, right? Even if you put Experimental Forest on 2 plants, it doesn't get your conversion. Probably that means just put it down on the cards. Yeah, I think I've decided. I think I'd actually go Astrodrill here for the bit of extra MC and the titanium instead of the steel. And then the biggest reason, Mining Ops doesn't suck on Astrodrill. It actually is great for it because you already have titanium. Now you also have steel. It's not wasted on the corp, just as it is with Mining Guild. Experimental Forest works with both corps. It's one of the best preludes, especially on Tharsis. And then pick these 6 cards. You get Earth Office down, put imported hydrogen, or put Earth Office down, take your titanium with your ability, then put hydrogen on the cards, get sponsors down, and then you'll see what cards you got through Experimental Forest, maybe Ascrius, maybe the 2 cards on the ocean. And if there's nothing there to play other than those 3, you can continue on with tardigrades and dirigibles. Just get these down as they are great as stall actions. Tardigrades, if you play Gen 1, will score you 2 points. And as I said, the stall action really has some value. And dirigibles also great as a stall action. And basically, if you find a Venus card later on, it definitely paid off because it's like Acquired Company, but a bit better. If you can use all the floaters, because you get the production Gen 1. Also, it can enable you to go for Hoverlord, and it's attack for Venophile, so it's a good engine card. So yeah, I'd probably take these 6, not think about the other cards really. But yeah, that was a complicated starting hand, I think. So yeah, let's get to hand number 2. All right, for hand number 2, we're actually looking at a BGA starting hand. And we're doing this because on BGA you can play with colonies already, because I'm recording this in December. Hopefully when this video releases, colonies is out, but I doubt it. So, Point Luna or Saturn systems? First of all, let's take a look at the colonies. The most important colonies in-game are Pluto and Titan. Pluto makes every colony's game into a clown fiesta, basically, because you can just draw an insane amount of cards. Everyone can draw an insane amount of cards. And that just can lead to games where the engine players take off like crazy. And Titan can sometimes just be insane with like a Jovian Lanterns, Titan Shuttles kind of situation. And you can score like 30 points with that card. Europa is not that great. Ion Ganymede work well if you want to go for a rush, but with colonies, rushing is much harder because the deck is really diluted. Basically, colonies doesn't really add any rush cards. It's just the way it is. There's a bit of heat prod in there. There's a little bit of plant prod in there, but no direct ocean placements other than like Ice Moon Colony or something like that. No space events that help you increase the parameters. So it just gets much harder to rush effectively, and then Io and Ganymede are not that great. I mean, if they are high up, you can still collect an enormous amount of resources with them that can score you a lot of points, but you're going to trade regularly with Pluto. You will try to go there every gen basically, and you will only go to Ganymede and Io if their tracks are really high up. So let's see what we got here. We have Point Luna with an Earth Tech Prelude, up against Saturn systems with just one Jovian that is not playable Gen 1. So basically the decision for the Corp is already made. We're going for Point Luna. We have a few really strong cards on the starting hand. Viral Enhancers, Quantum, Giant Ice Asteroid, Optimal Arrow Braking. Even Algae and Towing a Comet are also really good. I'm looking at this Earth Elevator. This would be insane to get down as Point Luna. Problem is we are lacking cash. We will end up with something like 20 MC at the start, and this costs just 43, so it's really hard to get down. But we have Eccentric Sponsor. I just noticed that. Oh my god. Is it really an Earth Elevator game? I talked about this in my rating expansion card series on colonies, obviously. It was in one of the first episodes. And it's not that great of a card. But obviously for Point Luna, you draw another card. We have Pluto in game, so we will likely be able to get a lot of card draw. And Point Luna gets some card draw for free as well. That means the 4 titanium prot that we have, we can likely make use of that. And in addition to that, we also have Optimal Air Braking, Towing a Comet, and Giant Ice Asteroid already on hand. Cards that use up a lot of titanium. So I really think we go for the Gen 1 Earth Elevator here. Sad thing is, if we do that, we miss out on Aquifer Turbines, a card which grants us Power Prot. And as you all know, Power Prot is absolutely essential in colonies. It's the cheapest way to trade, the most effective way to trade. So you should always look to pick up Power Prot, not something like Society Support, but Aquifer Turbines. But here I think this is like a situation that calls for something stupid, and we're doing it. We're doing Earth Elevator. We will just try to get 3 more science tags in addition to viral enhancers to get quantum down, and then we can trade. Or we just draw with Unum I and Earth Elevator. I mean, we will draw 4 cards for free at the start. 1 with Point Luna, 2 with Unum I Contractor, 1 with Earth Elevator. Maybe we find Power Prot or more science tags there. But I pretty much think these are the cards we want to take. Floater technology and floater leasing are also kind of interesting because Titan is in play, so we want to go for a floater. Also, we probably will go for an engine, even though we're picking up towing, GIA, Algae, Optimal Air Braking, Viral Enhancers. These can all work in a rush as well, but with Pluto in game, with Point Luna, with that much Titanium Prot, and Earth Elevator as our first card, we will probably go for an engine. And Titan plus these 2 would be nice in an engine. But I think we already have enough cards. But let's first calculate, can we even afford Earth Elevator with Eccentric Sponsor? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So we go to 17. 17 plus 25 is 42. So no, we can't afford Earth Elevator. We have to cut a card here. And that's really sad, because all of these are amazing. Basically, what you will never cut here is Towing a Comet and GIA. These are, if you don't find Jovians or some of the stupid space tags out of colonies, these are your titanium dumps. Quantum massively increases in value with colonies because Power Prot, Viral Enhancers, one of the science tags to get to quantum, and just generically insanely strong. And then optimal combos really well with these 2, also as a titanium dump. I think if we cut anything, we cut Algae. And then we have 6. So we go into 20. 20 plus 25 is 45, which means we have enough for Earth Elevator. Remember, we cannot sell any of the 4 cards we draw before we play Earth Elevator, because we immediately play it after Eccentric. So we cannot rely on selling here. We need to actually keep 1 less card. So yeah, that's what I would go for with this starting hand. The last starting hand was actually recorded on stream a few days ago when I was waiting for one of my AFK opponents to come back. So have fun with that last starting hand, and yeah, because I won't be able to tell you that at the end of that starting hand. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Have a good one. Because I think we're going to do multiple of these. Morningstar Arcadian. Arcadian is the better corp, and it's really annoying to play against. So let's see what the starting hand has to offer. Good preludes. These are all 4 of them are really good. We are going to have to see. Whew. 2 Jovian multipliers on the starting hand. What was the other choice again? MSI. I guess you could think of going for MSI because we have aerial mappers on hand. Bit of Venus combo potential. And Giant Solar Shade. Yeah. I think there's not that much going for Arcadian because there isn't any building tax really. Not a single one. And you start with 10 steel with Arcadian. You want to get that played. And not much resembling a ground game either, other than Knight from Moss, which you can't play. So I think this honestly is an MSI hand. Corp that starts with more MC at the start. And the Venus stuff. And honestly, just these two, so we get as much instant titanium as we get. So we can play IO mining instantly and still keep some of these other interesting cards. Like, these 6 are basically what you need to keep with MSI. Because you want to go for the 2 Jovian multipliers, obviously. IO mining Gen 1. But you also want to pick up the Venus cards as MSI. Media Group is just one of the best combo cards in the game. And then Solar Wind Power, also really nice. Insulation, obviously not a keep here. NRB, obviously not a keep. Nitromoss and Penguins are both quite great, but I'd probably save the rest of the money here. We go down to 32 with this, but we get 21 in... No, 9 times 3, that's 27. 32 plus 27 is 49, so we can play IO mining easily. Then we draw 3 extra cards with MSI. And then I'd rather save the rest of the cash, so Gen 2 we can get the card draw down, and maybe the other cards we draw with MSI are quite nice. Acquired Space Agency, we draw 2 more space tags here, so hopefully Jovians, that would be great. But also if we draw into a few good space events, that would also be nice. Also, this would be quite strong for Planner. That's 6 cards, of which we only playing 1, Gen 1, plus the 3 cards from MSI, plus the 2 cards from ASA. That's 5 plus 5 after playing IO mining. So we're sitting on 10 cards already. And then we have some slow card draw in hand as well. I want to see what we draw here with ASA and MSI. And then give an outlook on what I do Gen 1. Okay, doesn't matter whatever AI is doing here. So let's see. Draw 3 cards. So these are the 2 we got from ASA. Rotator impacts, not that great. If we really find something like Venusian Animals, we could use this to increase the Venus. Could be okay. Asteroid is a good draw, not amazing. We didn't find any Jovians with ASA. But we found Stratbirds. That's Stratbirds plus Venusian Plants is really great. Stratbirds is one of the best Venus payoffs, and you can get it down really fast with MSI, because you basically can get it down at 8% Venus. That's a 1-point animal after 4 steps on the track. Obviously, it needs a floater card down, but we're going to play aerial mappers. Extractor balloons is a dud. You don't want to play that. That's not great. But yeah, I'd just start off by playing IO Mining Industries Gen 1. And then probably, yeah, Giant Solar Shade and aerial mappers. You want to get those down. Card draw and the floater for Stratbirds and GSS to push the Venus to get Stratbirds down. In the 4th Venus step, you could think about getting it with rotator impacts. If you draw it for free, it's basically 9 for buying and playing the card, and another 6, so 15 for the first Venus bump, which is the same as the standard project. Alright, well, that was hand number 1. Let's see if our opponent came back. I doubt it, but